why couples counseling or marriage counseling does not work for good men and women and just a normal everyday relationship is what I like to call camp victim versus camp take responsibility, which I have talked about in several videos on the channel. And I talk about that camp, those two different camps a lot. And I thought it'd be good just to define a camp and what I mean by that. And a camp is just a group of people who share a common ideology, a group of people who share a common ideology. Some common camps in our world and in our culture is conservative and liberal. Those are two different camps. Pro-life, pro-choice, those are two different camps. Gun rights versus gun control, two different camps. And so we live in camps in our perspectives on life. And I bring those two camps into camp victim and camp take responsibility. Couples counseling and therapy and psychology in general is based in camp victim. That our experience of ourselves, our experience of our marriage, of our different relationships is based on circumstances outside of us, such as our past, our upbringing, our parents' relationship and their relationship modeling. And the problem with camp victim is that there can be no fundamental true change. Because if my problems and my issues in my marriage or other places in my life are because of my past or circumstances outside of me, I fundamentally can't change because it's those people, those circumstances, my past that are the problem. I can't change my parents or their relationship. I can't change my upbringing. I was indoctrinated into that camp. Most of us are in our culture because we haven't been presented another perspective. And above anything else on my channel, what I hope to bring is a different perspective that gives us a choice of which camp fits us best. If you're in camp victim, you're not going to like me or my channel or my message very much. I'm not for you. But I was so blessed and I'm so grateful that I was presented with another camp because I was indoctrinated into camp victim. I spent 7 years in therapy. By the way, if you spend years in therapy, here's a wake-up call. It's not working. If it worked, you'd be out and done and being healthy and well-adjusted in your life. But that's the camp I was indoctrinated in. I blamed my dad. Oh my God, I had this massive story about my dad and how he had created all my issues and challenges as an adult and why I was so insecure. Oh man, and I had everybody sucked into that story. Sorry, Dad. I have a wonderful relationship with my dad now. Thank goodness. And it wasn't based on him changing. It was based on me changing and waking up out of camp victim. And that only happened by getting a profound truth from my mentor, which was, Karen, you are the problem in your life. At 30 years old, 10 years ago when I met him, at 30 years old, the problem in your life is you. That the very experience you have of yourself, your marriage, your relationships, your family, your life is based on you and your choices and decisions and how you feel about yourself internally that you created. And that was very empowering to me because it meant if I was the problem, then I was empowered to be the solution. As long as it was my husband, my marriage, my dad, my mom, anyone and anything from my past, I was going to stay stuck in spinning in circles because I was going to be entrenched in camp victim with no way out and no way to fundamentally change. Couples counseling is based in camp victim. I feel unappreciated, unloved, uncared for in my marriage because of what my partner is doing, and they need to change for my experience to change. Men, if you fall into that perspective, you're going to be really stuck because as women in our victim mentality, we are incapable of change. And not all of your wives are going to be open to changing. Many of them are. They've been reaching out, which is incredible. But many of them will not be willing to change and will think it's blasphemy what I teach and dangerous and threatening. So you need another way, because if your wife isn't going to change and you're choosing to stay in the relationship, you need a way to be able to rebuild yourself and navigate it in a healthy way for you, understanding the reality of who she is. Women, our husbands aren't the problem. We're the problem. So it's not going to work going to couples counseling and wanting your husband to change, because no matter what he changes, you're not going to be happy. So that's why we have to get into Camp Take Responsibility, which is a different path and a different road than couples counseling. Camp Take Responsibility, very simply, is I am a product of my choices. I'm a product of my choices, which means nothing in my past has any ability to prevent me from being who I want to be and creating the life I want as an adult unless I give it that power. From Camp Take Responsibility, the sole focus is on yourself and what are the choices I am making that are creating the experience of myself and my life. We don't even have to understand our past. In fact, in Camp Take Responsibility, you begin to look at your past and the challenges and adversities you went through in your childhood or anywhere else as a gift. What did it teach me? What is there to learn about myself and life from this experience? We used our past to make us stronger, not point the finger and have excuses and blame of why we can't meet our potential. So from this perspective, couples counseling and therapy in general exploits our human nature to not want to take responsibility that the very life we have as adults is on our shoulders, nobody else's. That sets us free. Doesn't mean that unfair things don't happen or that we don't go through extraordinary challenges and injustices in life. But I have a choice. How do I want to respond? And who do I want to be in this? And how do I take responsibility for my choice that led to this adversity or challenge? Then we can be the solution. Because again, the only person we have any control over to change is ourselves. That's Camp Take Responsibility. When a woman goes to marriage counseling and drags her husband with her, she's coming as a victim. And as a victim, we have no capacity to see ourselves, no self-awareness to see our own choices and decisions, our own behaviors that are creating the problem. And marriage counseling is based in the dogma, and therapy is based in the dogma of being a victim. There is no solution there. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and want a path forward to take responsibility to change your own inner turmoil and unhappiness, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program, which is the solution to the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself and the issues and challenges that you have in your life and your marriage. You can find the link in the description below to schedule a free consultation with me. And for the good men listening who want a solution to take back the power you have unknowingly given away to your wife, I have a course for you too called the Marriage Rescue Program for Good Men Only that teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence as a good man so that you can navigate the relationship you have with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to schedule a free consultation with me. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking with you soon.